Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. James Collier, happy to have you along with us here this morning. As Dwayne said that he fixed everything. I don't know what he did. He didn't. I don't know if he did something or didn't do something. I think he just didn't have something turned on right. And then we go into break, and he goes, "Hey, does Borders have safes?" You see what I'm working with here, folks. I said, yeah. I said, remember they got $700 off of gun safes. I was like, yeah, I'd like to find a safe and lock you in it. Jeez, oh, Pete. Like I said, I can't make this stuff up. I wish that I could, but I can't. That's what I'm working with here, people. Every single day. Either way, around the league for Major League Baseball last night, Pirates blanked the Twins 3-0. Buccos have kind of caught in fire, and I think a lot of that came when Paul Skeens came to kind of fruition. He brought a little bit of a spark with it. Mitch Keller has really come on late. He's 8-3 now with a 3.16 ERA. He got the win last night. But all of a sudden, the Pirates trying to get back in the conversation. 3 games under 500. They're in that what's going to be a very highly contested National League Central, I believe. But we'll see how that plays out. Brewers blanked the Tigers last night, 10-0 up in Detroit. Nationals over the Braves 2-1. It was the Orioles doubling up the race 6-3. Dodgers beat the Yankees in 11 innings last night up in the Bronx. So that was big for the Orioles because they pick up a game on the Yankees in that National League, or the American League East, excuse me. Reds score all 3 runs with 2 outs last night. And more importantly, they get the victory. They hold off the Cubbies, who got a run back in the 9th, but they win it 3-2. Nick Lodolo gets the win. He goes to 6-2 on the season. Alexis Diaz picks up his 13th save on the season. Reds now 2 games under 500 as they are tied with the Cubbies for second place in the National League Central. Marlins over the Guardians 3-2. It was the Giants knocking off the Rangers 5-2 in Arlington. Royals outslugged the Mariners 10-9 last night. Both teams with 10 hits and an error, but the Royals got one better up in KC. White Sox beat up on the Red Sox in Chicago last evening 7-2. It was the Cardinals over the Rockies 8-5. Astros dropped the Angels 7-1. D-backs fall to the San Diego Padres 10-3, and the Athletics over the Blue Jays 2-1. Now, today we get the first of 2 games over in London Stadium. Phillies-Mets will start at 1:10. Ranger Suarez will go for Philadelphia, and Sean Manaea will go for the Mets. I can't remember. I think London's 6 hours ahead of us, so that would be a 7:10 first pitch start over in London. But I got to watch a video last night of how they transformed London Stadium, which is a soccer stadium, into a baseball stadium. It was really cool to watch. I mean, they took everything up, laid down the surface, brought the dirt in, put everything in, put the grass in, built the walls and the fence. It was really cool to see. But there's some people that's really frustrated because they're taking some of these big games across the pond, and the players don't seem to mind it. I think they really enjoy it, and you kind of get the same thing when you see the NFL doing it, going to London, and then they went to Germany last year. So, just trying to expand the viewing audience and the fan bases and stuff. Especially in football, that kind of sucks because you only get 8 home games typically a year, and those you count as one of your home games. So as a season ticket holder, you're paying for 7 home games and 1 that you can't go to because it's across the pond unless you want to go, I guess, over to Europe. But either way, that series gets started today. All right, in the standings, the Yankees the best record in baseball, 45-20, a 3.5-game lead over Baltimore, who's at 40-22. Red Sox at even 32-32 at 12.5 games off the pace. They're a game and a half behind the wild card. Yankees, I hate saying this, but daggone it, they're good. I mean, they do not have a hole. And the crazy thing of it is that they're doing what they're doing and missing an arm like Garrett Cole. There's a chance he comes back very soon. He had a good rehab start earlier this week. But top to bottom in their lineup, they hit the ball, they field it clean, they play really well. And there's a reason why they're 40-20 or 45-20. 8 of their last 10 have been wins. They've outscored their opponents by 117 runs That's the most across Major League Baseball. There's only, one other team that has gone triple digits in the differential category, and that's the Phillies, who has the best record in the National League and a half game behind the Yankees at 44-19. Now, in the Central, the Guardians at 40-22, a 3-game lead over Kansas City, who's at 38-26. Minnesota, 7.5 off the pace at 33-30. The Detroit Tigers have cooled off tremendously. They've gone 5-5 over the last 10. They're 9.5 off the pace, a game under 500. Seattle leads the West. They're the only team above 500. The Rangers 3 games under 500, 5 off the pace, followed by Houston at 6.5 behind. Oakland has really cooled. They're 10 behind now, 26-39. The Angels are in last place in the West. Here's the question is, with Ohtani gone in Anaheim, what does that mean for Mike Trout and some of those big names that's on the Angels? Could this be the year that the Angels start unloading people and start dumping off? Because obviously they're not going to make a run. They don't have the pieces of the puzzle they need to be dominant by any means in a division that, let's just be honest, doesn't look very good. So I think the Angels are probably going to be fielding some phone calls for some players, and it's going to be a rebuilding time with the L.A. Angels for sure. Over to the East in the National League, the Phillies lead the Braves by 8 games. Phillies 44-19, Braves 35-26. Washington and everybody else, Mets, Miami, all under 500, all within a cluster there. The Nationals 16 off, Mets 16.5 back, Miami 22.5 back. The Brewers, the best record in the Central at 37-26. Cubs and Reds 6.5 off the pace. The Cardinals are also 6.5 off the pace, but they're 30-22. Pirates rounding out the basement there at 30-33 at 7 behind. But I think everybody within the Central right now is still within striking distance, especially considering the fact you have a division that's four of the 5 teams that's under 500. But that's where we are right this year in baseball for some reason. You've got some very heavy teams at the top, and you've got a lot of mediocre teams in the middle. And that's, I think, why we're seeing a lot of the divisions the way they are. You look at the American League East, 2 teams under 500, 2 in the Central. You have 4 in the American League West, 3 in the East, 4 in the Central, and 4 in the West. That's all under 500. So, again, that doesn't speak well for the game, because what's happening is that you're really putting a continental divide, if you will, in between your rich teams that's going out here and spending all this money, buying trophies, and the other teams that are in these small markets are just not spending the high dollars to try to get the players. In the West, the Dodgers 8 games in front of the Padres. The Padres a game under 500 at 33-34. Giants follow behind, 8.5 behind at 31-33. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies close things out in the West. So if the playoffs started today, here's the way it would look. Yankees, Guardians, and the Mariners would be your division champions. The wild cards would be the Orioles, Royals, and Twins. Boston's a game and a half back. Detroit, Tampa, 2 off. Texas and Toronto, 3 back. And then the Astros are 4.5 back. Right there at this point in time, I'm going to draw the line at the Houston Astros and above. I think the Athletics, the Angels, and the White Sox, they're done. I think they're too far behind, especially with the divisions that they're in. You're talking about 2 teams in the American League West, the White Sox in the American League Central, what I think is going to be a great race. You got 3 teams in the American League Central that are in the postseason right now if it started today. Twins, Royals, and Guardians. And the last couple of seasons, I mean, heck, for a while last year, we were thinking about a possibility of getting a division champion into the postseason with a losing record. And now we're talking about that same division with 3 teams that could get into the postseason from that division. You've got 1 team from the American League, 2 teams from the American League East. We've talked as many as 4 teams making it from the American League East. And it's no secret, usually the West, there's 1 team and that's it. So that's where we are for now. In the National League, Phillies, Dodgers, and Brewers, that would be your 3 division champions. Atlanta, San Diego would be the next two in, followed by the Cubs, Reds, and Giants. St. Louis is in that conversation too, but they're off the mark right now because they've won one fewer games than the three teams ahead of them at 31. Pittsburgh, Arizona, and Washington. I think the Mets could make a run if they could get some pieces. Colorado and Miami, they're both done. So we still have a lot of stuff to discuss as we move through. And, again, this is way too early to look at the wild card standings, but that's kind of where it's shaping up. You can see who your teams are that's going to be in the conversation and which teams are going to try to back themselves into the postseason. And you can kind of see where it is. Now, if a team gets hot, like the Reds right now, they've won 6 straight, 7 of the last 10. Can they get hot enough to make that organization spend some money? That would be like telling Dwayne he's going to do something today without screwing things up. Probably not. But either way, if you're a Reds fan, you got to have a little bit of life right now because your Reds have played themselves into the conversation. All right, let's take a break. We come back, we'll switch over to the hardwood and the NBA Finals. Boston takes Game 1, 107-89. Game 2 tomorrow night. We'll talk about it when we return after this on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family-owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call that can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Cool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Cool Hits weather.
Starting out today with partly cloudy skies early, then giving away to cloudy skies later on this afternoon. We'll reach a high near 80. Cloudy tonight, low near 66. Cloudy skies on Sunday, a slight chance of a rain shower, high 78. Few clouds Sunday night, low of 56.
Cool Hits 105.7.
Well, breaking news, we got the mystery solved of the missing ears this morning. Guess where the problem was? Same guy looking for the safes. Golly, Ned. It just started working. Like, no, it didn't just start working. Something changed. Yeah, it started working when the goof behind the board pushed the right button. I mean, who knows if anybody even heard the first part of the show? I mean, I might have not been. He went into spider arms when I was like I said, he had my headset ran between 3 cables or 3 tubes, a stapler, a pencil sharpener, scissors, and he's like, here, and I'm like, Dwayne, I can't even move them. Okay. Maybe take the scissors and cut the cable, and I might be able to untwine it. It looked like the ball of lights off of Chevy Chase on Christmas Vacation. Here, you try this one. Yeah, okay. God love him. NBA Finals Game 1 goes to the Celtics 107-89. They led it by as many as 29, but then the Mavs made a run. They cut it to 8, and then the Celtics went on a 14-0 run to close out the victory at home to go up 1-0. The biggest thing in this series that I want to talk about is the return of Kristaps Porzingis, because I'm so stinking mad over the national media. And all they have done to the Celtics throughout this entire postseason have been complaining about the fact that, well, okay, when they played the Miami Heat, it was Jimmy Butler that was hurt. Then they played the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Donovan Mitchell was hurt. And then they played the Indiana Pacers, and Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. Well, the problem of it is that the Celtics, through 2 of those 3 series that I talked about, did not have Kristaps Porzingis. And I hate to tell you guys, he's pretty stinking good. You know, a guy that's averaging 20 points and nearly 8 rebounds a night goes out of your rotation, and at that point, what do? You just win every series that you play. They went 12-2 to an Eastern Conference championship. They're now 13-2 in the postseason. And everybody still wants to talk about Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, and Tyrese Halliburton. Well, you get Kristaps Porzingis back, who was out with a calf injury, had not played since mid-April. He came off the bench in Game 1 and absolutely went crazy. Porzingis, in 20 minutes, drops in 20 points and grabs 6 rebounds as the Celtics run away with the first game of the series, 107-89. But the big key is all 5 of the starters for the Celtics finishes in double figures. Jaylen Brown leads the way with 22 points. Jason Tatum has 16. Then you've got Derek White with 15. Drew Holiday had 12, and Al Horford drops in 10. The biggest key there is the fact that they keep Horford in the starting lineup. They bring Porzingis off the bench. He goes 20 minutes and gives you 20 points. He was 8 of 13 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Had 3 blocked shots in the game, by the way. The Celtics blocked 9 shots against the Mavs. I mean, everybody was out there blocking a shot. It was like Oprah Winfrey was on the floor. You had 3 from Porzingis, 3 from Jaylen Brown, 2 from Al Horford, and 1 from Jason Tatum. Now, the Celtics, the one thing that I had a problem with within this game, the fact of it is that the Celtics had it to 29 points, and they took their foot off the throat. And that's the only thing that has been kind of the Achilles heel with Boston this year, is sometimes they've lacked that killer instinct of being able to finish something off. Now, they had the best record in basketball. 64-18 was what their regular season record was through 72 games. They have looked the part of the best team in basketball. Stop giving all these stinking excuses. Well, they played this team and this person was hurt. They played this team. You know what? They have done everything that's been in front of them, and they've done it in style. And that's what they're supposed to do. And the basic fact is that you want to talk about all these injuries and these missing pieces for these teams that they've placed, but nobody wanted to talk about Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis changes the element when he's on the floor. 7'3", and he can go out and shoot a ball from 25 feet. He can go inside and he can post a person up. He can dribble drive. He can dish the basketball. But when you've got a guy like that comes off the bench right now, it allows Al Horford to know that, hey, I've got backup. Okay. Horford has been, I still think if there was a trophy or an award that they gave out for the most valuable player over the entire postseason, for me, for the Celtics, it's Al Horford. That guy has been remarkable because of all of the stuff that he's had to do in the absence of Porzingis. And at 38 years old, he turned 38 this past week, and the guy is just remarkable on the floor. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocked shots in 30 minutes in the win over Dallas. Now, the other conversation that's still out there, and this one right here gets me about as mad as what Dwayne makes me most of the time. Stop with all the crap of trying to draw a line between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Because here's the basic fact of it is, if Jason Tatum has an off night, Jaylen Brown usually has a good night. Tatum finished with 16, Brown finished with 22. If Brown's off, Tatum's typically on. It doesn't matter whose team it is. You know, it doesn't have to be Jason Tatum's league. It doesn't have to be Jaylen Brown's league. That's not the way this team is orchestrated. And the thing of it is that people get so ticked off over the Boston Celtics. This is not a team that was bought. This is a team that was built. They got Tatum and Brown in back-to-back years out of the draft. The best trade, and I was so happy. I heard a guy yesterday on national radio was talking about this. They said that all of the Celtics fans that were ticked off last year when they traded away Marcus Smart, and I said, I was doing cartwheels. I wanted that guy gone a long time ago. But the basic fact of it is they get Brown and Tatum in back-to-back years. Tatum first, then Brown after that. Then last season, they trade away Marcus Smart, and in the process, they bring in Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday. If you haven't figured out who got the better end of that deal, let me explain this to you. It was the Boston Celtics. Of all of the trades that happened, it was a 3-team trade. The Celtics got Porzingis and 2 first-round draft picks, which they used one of those draft picks to bring Drew Holiday in. Of the other players that were involved in that, which went to Memphis, Portland, and Washington, those 3 teams combined had 1 fewer win than the Celtics had altogether this year. But Kristaps Porzingis makes a difference of how this Celtics team plays. But stop with the nonsense of trying to say Jason Tatum has to be the MVP this year in the finals if the Celtics win, or it's a failure. It is not a failure. You know, there's a reason right now why Jaylen Brown is the highest paid player for the Celtics. Guess what? Jason Tatum's getting ready to eclipse that. Because at the end of this year, he's got 2 years left in his contract. They're not going to let it go out for another year and then do it. They're going to extend him this year. And I will say this. If the Celtics doesn't extend him this year, shame on them. But the basic fact of it is you're probably going to make Jason Tatum one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid player in the league. But you're going to lock up your 2 dudes. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you're going to lock those 2 guys up. Drew Holiday, he's a guy that he's not going to go out and get you 20 points. But his defense is remarkable. He was up in the grill of Kyrie so much that Kyrie was sick of looking at him. Then what happens? Luka gets going. They needed somebody to go to Luka. They switch off Drew over to Luka, and Luka starts slowing things down a little bit. Luka got his. I mean, he had a great first game. 30 points, 10 rebounds. But the Mavs were held to only 9 assists. Luka had only 1 assist in that game. And a lot of that has to do with the Celtics' defense. The way that they play this up and down style basketball. But Kyrie Irving, that guy, he did not have a game 1 that he wants to remember. And to go into your post game and say, I was kind of disappointed. I thought it would be louder in Boston. Like, why do you do that? It's like walking up and this is what Dwayne would do. Hey, look, there's a beehive. I'm going to stick this stick in it. What happens? Listen, that place is going to be deafening tomorrow night in Boston at TD Garden. Because the Celtics fans are going to let him have. Listen, there is nobody in Boston that likes Kyrie Irving. I hated the guy when he played there. He was selfish. He was a punk. I couldn't stand him. Now, I will say this. Since he has moved over to Dallas, I've been really impressed with his moxie. And I think he has grown up a lot. A young Kyrie Irving is not the Kyrie Irving we're seeing right now. And I'll give that man the credit because I think he's made leaps and bounds strides from where he was when he first started. But he played behind LeBron. Then he came to Boston and tried to be the guy, and he never was the guy. I was so happy to see him leave. But I was kind of confused of how things were going to work this year when he got to Dallas with Luka. And the basic fact of it is, Jason Kidd probably has a lot to do with that, the head coach for Dallas. He played for the Mavs. He's a player that's a coach now. And I love Jason Kidd. I loved him when he played. He was a phenomenal player. But maybe he's had a little bit to do with that too. But I think the fact of Kyrie having someone like a Luka to where you don't have to be Superman every night. You don't have to be Batman every night. Some nights you can be Robin. But he did not even make it to Robin. He was more like the Joker. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers. He's 6 of 19 from the field. He was 0 for 5 from long range. Dallas went 7 of 27 from long range, 25.9%. On the other side, the Celtics, 16 of 42. They were torching it from downtown. And that's what they do. I mean, that's their MO. They shoot the long ball. Game 2 tomorrow night up at in Boston. Then they'll switch off to Dallas for 2. I've said it from the word go. I think the Celtics take this one in 5. I think Dallas gets one. And here's the thing. For me, this is me being selfish. I want the 18th championship in Boston, which, by the way, would be the most ever in NBA history. They're tied with the Lakers at 17 right now. I want it to be at home. So I'm okay with giving up one game in Dallas. But bring it back home, and let's clinch it on the home floor. We'll see. But I think the Celtics, they have been the team to beat this year. And I've said it all along. Anything less than an NBA championship this year is a bust. 100%. Celtics get it done. Hopefully, I don't care if they do it in 4 or 5. I just want it done. But it's going to be an NBA championship for the Celtics. They up 1-0 as they go to Game 2 tomorrow night. All right, we come back. We're going to look at the Memorial Tournament up in Dublin, Ohio, and some college baseball. The Super Regionals going on. There's a big one down in Lexington tonight as the Cats bring in Oregon State, and probably one of the most highly touted Super Regionals that's going to play when they fire up down in Lexington later on this evening. We'll take a look at that when we return after this on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV-compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup. 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
The Tri-States Cool Hits 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Up in Dublin, Ohio, just outside of Columbus, the Memorial Tournament at Muirfield Village Golf Club. Second round in the book. Scotty Scheffler leads the way. He's at 9 under, 67-68 his first 2 rounds. The top player in golf. He's got the 3-shot lead over Adam Hadwin and Victor Hovland, who are at 6 under. Down the leaderboard we go. Keegan Bradley and Christian Busenhout at 5 under par. Ludwig Adberg at 4 under. Tony Finau at 3 with Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Akshay Bahita. Tommy Fleetwood at 2 under with Sepp Straka and Colin Morikawa, Simu Kim. Some other names down the way. In 15th, Hideki Matsuyama is at 1 under par along with Matty Fitzpatrick. Sahith Theegala at even par. JT Poston also at even par. Max Homa even par. Will Zalatoris at even par. After that, it goes down the list. The cut line ended up at +4. Justin Thomas just got in. He blew up yesterday after shooting a 1 under 71. He went 5 over 77 yesterday at 4 over, but he does stay in the cut. He, Jason Day, Thomas Dietrich, Austin Eckroat, Emilio Grillo, and Andrew Putnam, all at 4 over par, just get in. So Thomas, again, still trying to find his MO again back in the golf course. Had played some really good golf coming into this, but he was 14th in FedEx Cup point standings. He's projected to drop down to 20th at the result of where he is right now. But, hey, he may turn it around today and go out and shoot a 4 or 5 under par. That's the one thing at Muirfield is it's probably going to take somewhere around 18 to 19 under to win this thing. It's a golf course that it brings in a lot of scoring. Low scores on this course is not unheard of. 67. Hadwin shot a 66 on day 1. So that's the low round so far. But it wouldn't be crazy to see somebody go out and shoot a 64, 65 today and put themselves in contention. But first rounds are underway. There are players out on the course and other guys getting ready to get out there. Thomas just getting ready to tee off as well. College baseball, the Super Regional round now, getting ready to make the trip toward the College World Series. Softball is finished, and the Oklahoma Sooners win their 4th consecutive College World Series championship. They beat Texas earlier in the week, which is crazy to think because Oklahoma was down to their last out, down to Florida, and came back and won that one in the Super Regional. So, but Oklahoma, they have just been kind of the head of the pack for the class over the recent years. But they are your College World Series champions on the softball side of things. In baseball, there were 4 games last night. We got a full slate of games today. But in the Super Regional rounds, this was the Knoxville Super Regional. Number 1 Tennessee over Evansville, 11-6. Both teams with 9 hits and an error. But Tennessee takes the best out of 3-game series lead at 1-0. In the Chapel Hill Super Regional, North Carolina walks it off with a 3-run home run, from Henry Gautz. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Let me try this again. A 2-run home run by Vince Honeycutt. I knew that was a 2-run home run. But the North Carolina Tar Heels, 4th in the nation, knocks off West Virginia 8-6. Both teams with 8 hits in that one. So UNC goes up 1-0 in the best of 3. In the Tallahassee Super Regional, Florida State ranked 8th in the nation. They beat up on UConn 24-4. The Seminoles 18 hits in the winning effort. So they've got a 1-0 lead over the Huskies. And then in the Charlottesville Super Regional down in Virginia, number 12th ranked Cavaliers take a 7-4 win over Kansas State. 9 hits last night for Virginia as Kansas State was held to 5 hits in the losing effort. So Virginia, a 1-0 lead. All right, here's games that'll go today. Tennessee and Evansville will play game number 2 at 11 o'clock this morning, along with Florida State and UConn. At 12 o'clock, the first game of the series in the Athens Super Regional, 10th-ranked North Carolina State at 7th-ranked Georgia. Georgia is the favorite in this series, not by a lot, though, but they're expecting a lot of runs in this game. Over and under 14.5. That's averaging pretty good number. But they're expecting both of these teams to hit the ball and to put it in play a lot. At 2 o'clock in the Bryan College Station Super Regional down at Texas A&M, the number 3. I got tucked between 3 and 3rd. The third-ranked Aggies of Texas A&M, they bring in Oregon. That game at 2 o'clock. Also today at 2 in the Clemson Super Regional, Florida goes to number 6 Clemson in the first game of that series. At 3 o'clock, game 2 between Virginia and Kansas State. Tonight down in Lexington, in the Lexington Super Regional, 15th-ranked Oregon State, the Beavers go against number 2 ranked Kentucky. That one should be a dandy. That place is going to be rocking down at Kentucky Proud Park in Lexington. And then tonight at 8, number 4 North Carolina tries to close us out against West Virginia in the Chapel Hill Super Regional. All of the winners of their Super Regionals move on to Omaha and the College World Series next week. All right, let's take a break. We come back. It's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Insurance. That's when we continue here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Cool Hits Weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Cool Hits weather.
Starting out today with partly cloudy skies early, then giving away to cloudy skies later on this afternoon. We'll reach a high near 80. Cloudy tonight, low near 66. Cloudy skies on Sunday, a slight chance of a rain shower, high 78. Few clouds Sunday night, low of 56.
Cool Hits 105.7.
Back here on Let's Talk Sports, time for the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Borders Sporting Goods US 60 in Cannonsburg. For your hunting and fishing needs, as well as those Liberty gun safes, go see Brad and the gang out at Borders. Gun safes, Dwayne. Listen here. You might have heard this before, but there's up to a $700 rebate on gun safes. So, Dwayne, if you're looking for a safe, they've got it. Here's the way it goes right now. The rebates start down as low as $100, and they go all the way up to $700, depending on the total amount of your safe. They've got instant savings, which is also matched with a mail-in rebate. So they're going to double the rebate, basically, right now. They've got all of these in stock. They have a delivery available. The best selection of Liberty gun safes, bar none, for it by any means. But ask for Brad when you go out there if you're looking for a new gun safe to add to your collection, or you're looking for your first ever to put in. Brad will get you all squared away. Full collection of handguns, long rifles, ammunition, reloads, crossbows, your compound bows with, trying to remember the Matthews, and Hoyt. Hoyt's the other one. I went blank there for a second. Hoyt and Matthews. 10-point crossbow systems out there. They've got a lot of fishing sales going on. I've got Berkeley, 25% off all kayaks, 15% off and a free kayak paddle. They've got a lot of combos for catfish that they're trying to blow out from the stuff that they picked up after the tackle box closed over in South Point. They've got the 100th anniversary edition of the Abu Garcia Baitcaster reel. All of this stuff available, plus lots and lots more. And then this week, if you spend $25 or more on fishing stuff, you get your name in a drawing for a drawing next Saturday for a St. Croix rod and reel. It has to be spent on fishing, though. It has to be $25 worth of fishing. You do $25 in hunting or ammunition or something like that. Has to be $25 of fishing, but your name will go into the hat, and Brad's going to draw for a St. Croix rod and reel combo next week over at Borders. And again, we're not too far away from Father's Day that's coming up. It'll be after tomorrow. It'll be 1 week away. So if anybody's out there looking for those Father Days deals, you'll see Brad in the gang. They'll get you taken care of. Insurance. Why does it have to be so stinking difficult? There's two things in your life that you're guaranteed of, okay? Taxes and death. The third is insurance. You're going to have it in some form or fashion. There are people in this country that they typically work so they have insurance. Because you can literally, without insurance, have one major medical issue and you can go bankrupt. Now, the basic fact of it is that it's such a farce that we pay the amount of money that we do pay for insurance. And the way the coverage works is kind of like an 8-ball. You shake it up and see what happens to come up. And the crazy thing of it is that you can have two of the same thing and you get two different answers. Where is the transparency of how insurance coverage works? And why is it that you get one person that gets to tell you one thing, and then another person will tell you something different? I remember whenever we bought the house that we own right now over in Worthington, and we'd been in the house maybe 6 months, less than a year, and we had a real bad hailstorm that had come through the area. We came home one night, and we go into the kitchen, and I look over, and I have water running through the window seal coming from the attic. I'm like, there's no water lines up there. I don't know why it is. So I go up into the attic, and I'm looking outside. I had hail that had actually damaged my roof so bad it went through the shingles and the wood. So I had to patch it up, clean up all the water and everything. So I called the insurance company. They come out, and the insurance company tries to say, well, we'll replace the shingles on that side of the house. And I said, that's going to make sense. I said, so then I'll have two different color shingles because one side was the shingles that were on the house like 5 years old. So you're going to have one color on one side of the house because it's faded a little bit, and then you're at brand new. Yeah, so that's going to look real good on my house. Well, we'll have to get approval for this. Why do we have to get approval? And then what do they want to do? As soon as you make an insurance claim, what's the next thing they want to do to you? Raise your rates. It's to the point to where you look at something when you have something that has to go through an insurance claim, and you ask yourself, is it worth the increase that I'm probably going to take on my premium if I turn this in? Which is sad. The whole purpose of having insurance is so that you have what it's supposed to be meant. Insurance means that you have a basically like a safety net there. You have a guarantee that if something happens, it's going to be okay. But you have health insurance, and you go to get something done, and they kick it back, and they say, sorry, this doesn't cover under your plan because of this. All of this freaking technicalities that they just come up with stuff. I'm going through one of them right now. We had something that we're trying to do with a medical situation. The insurance declined it and gave us this reasoning. So we did a follow-up with the doctor, and the doctor submitted all the stuff back into it, and they came back with a decline again, and guess what? A different answer. Totally different answer. Okay. You want to play that game. So that's the game you play. And as the thing of it is, it ticks me off so much, is with insurance companies, you know the old saying, the greasy wheel gets the or I'm trying to think of what it is. Yeah, the greasy wheel gets the oil or whatever. Yeah, the one that makes the loudest noise gets the attention. It's kind of what you have to do with an insurance company. You just got to play their game. You got to jump through their hoops. You got to keep going until you finally get somebody that pushes that right button and says, "Yep, that's okay. We'll do it now." But the basic fact of it is that when you pay these premiums, and if you got a full-time job that you have insurance company or insurance coverage, you know what I'm talking about. You look at your taxes and your amount that comes off of your check before you get the money that is yours. It's a large chunk of change that comes out of there so that you have health insurance. And then every month you pay premiums on your home, your auto, your motorcycle, your boat. If you have renter's insurance, you got to pay that. There's a lot of stuff that gets paid for insurance, and sometimes you may only use it once or twice in your lifetime. But guess what? As soon as you use it, you're going to get hit. It's going to go up. It's going to be a nightmare to try to get through this. And in the grand scheme of things, it's sad that we even have to think about, when I have a situation of needing insurance, do I want to call and try to even put that out there, or do I just want to say, nah, I think I'll just eat it and not put that on my policy? Insurance companies are a scam. And let me back up. Some insurances are a scam. I've had some really great experiences with insurance. My insurance person that I deal with for my home and auto, phenomenal. It's Kurt Roberts at State Farm Insurance up in Flatwoods. He's got a great staff in there. I've got one lady that works there. I can pick up the phone. Doesn't matter if it's been 3 weeks or 3 years since the last time I've talked to her. Hey, it's James Collier. Here's what's going on. Here's what I need. She says, give me just a little bit. I'll be back in touch with you. She'll send me something, email. She'll call me back. We'll make an adjustment. Everything's great. Never had any issues. When we had the issue when my wife's car, when we totaled her car last year coming home, when we hit the deer, got a hold of them, told them what was going on. They sent an adjuster out. Week later, a car's totaled. We'll send you a check. Everything's good to go. They got us a rental. I mean, it was good. It was kind of not painful the way that it should be. But I've also had times with insurance companies to where I just want to pull my hair out. And I don't have a whole lot of hair to pull out to begin with. And it should never be that way. Because a lot of times when you're dealing with insurance, especially when you're dealing with insurance claims, you're in the middle of a stressful situation. Something has happened in your life that you didn't want to happen. You don't walk out here and say, oh, well, the air conditioner just shut off today. That was part of my plan today. Hey, I guess I better use my insurance. No. You don't, go out here to work in the yard and fall off the lawnmower and it rolls over top of you and crush your chest and you end up in the ICU for 15 days. That's not part of your plan. That's not part of anybody's plan. And that's when your insurance is going to be needed. So rather than insurance companies making it so stinking difficult to be used, maybe let's try to be more welcoming to your customers, especially when they're in these trying situations, when they need this stuff, and not have to be such a hassle. It's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Hey, don't forget, get out to Borders. They've got all those deals going on, Liberty Gun Safes. Lots of stuff coming up for Father's Day, including, don't forget, they're going to give away that rod and reel from St. Croix next Saturday. $25 purchase or more on fishing items out of Borders. We'll put your name in the hat. That will get you an opportunity to win that St. Croix rod and reel that Brad's going to draw for next Saturday out at Borders. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for us will be over at Bellefonte Country Club for the AJGA golfing event. Lots of boys and girls. Great action that's going to play over there as they vie for the championship and hopefully their next step toward becoming the next big thing in golf. But it'll be over on Kool TV. We'll be getting our coverage each day at 11 o'clock. That's it for me. Have a good weekend, everyone. Dwayne, good luck. I don't know what you're going to do today. You've screwed up